Hello Loghouse streamers. It has been a couple weeks since I have made a new video, or well, the second video of the channel, so now I think it's the time to crack on that one. So in this video I'm planning on going through what kind of house we are actually going to build. So let's go through that. What kind of different prefabricated log house types we have in Finland. What are the different logs used on those houses, and what I have learned during this process on those different log options. So let's get into the works on checking out that design. Okay, so now we are going to look on the what kind of design we are working on, and what kind of log options and corner options we have for the prefabricated log houses. So usually the best way to start planning and dreaming of a log house is to go to a log house company sites, because they have these prefabricated and pre-made models which you can then alter as you want. But these are usually the good way to start working on your log house. And me and my wife, we have been looking for various sites and models from log house companies, and this has been basically the best one. It's fairly standard model. It has nice features, so it's not just a simple box, but it's not too complicated as per it would be then complex to manufacture and would increase the costs. So in this picture, this is the kind of like modern look, and here you can have kind of like more traditional log house with these long corners and perhaps a little bit more traditional way of doing the log house, and this is kind of like the look we are aiming for. We are probably going to have the roofing similar to this design, with the steel sheets, and not a brick roofing as it is shown in here. So what kind of design we are looking for then? So we have chosen as our base to be this kind of like A version of the so-called isokajastus model. And in this model, we have fairly standard set of rooms in the first floor. So we are coming in through here. We have the area for taking off the shoes and so on. The master bedroom will be here. This workroom or additional room, this will be converted so that we will actually close down this door here, and we will open a door from the master bedroom. So this way we can have kind of like walk-in closet, and you know we can have our clothes there, which I think is something that both of us have dreamed of. Then when moving forward, we are having a large seating area, living area, with the kitchen on the other side. So this section, the living room, is going to be open all the way up. So it will be a very tall space. Then as a change to the design, we are going to increase this length of this house by 1 meter, so that we can have basically jacuzzi here. We will remove the basically the sink and the toilet seat from here, and make a separate small toilet into the kind of like laundry room. The laundry room will be a fairly standard with some additional technical parts which are required actually to have in the house. Then the next part is the second floor. Into the second floor there are not many changes, so we have a couple rooms for kids. Then this kind of like big guest room, which will probably also act as a office space for myself. And this closet will be changed so that we can access it from this large seating area, so that we don't have to go through my office space or guest room while accessing this closet here. So that's basically the design we are looking for. Actually, there will be changes on the final fabricated design, because usually these log houses in Finland are done so that the logs will actually end up right around here, so that the corner will be done out of kind of like traditional wooden frame structure. So that is something we are going to change. So we will have logs all the way up. So it's a full log house, not like a semi log house. But that is the one structural change. And what I have been talking with the suppliers, they have said that it will also require a little bit different design for the roofing system. So that needs to be changed a little bit. Then what kind of logs we are actually looking for? So the one way would be to do was to have like one piece logs, which are made out of one big trees, but that is usually not anymore used, because it splits, which kind of like gives it a character. But then again, in modern woods, it's fairly difficult to find so big wood that you can actually make these logs. At least what the suppliers are saying. So naturally, it might change from location to location, but at least in Finland, because the woods are trimmed down before they grow up so big that those would be like good log frames to be used as logs in a house. So that is perhaps an option that will be kind of like out. Although we have asked for quotation from this kind of company, still it might be that we are not going to go with this direction. But what we are actually looking for is laminated logs, and this is there are a few ways of doing those. So this is kind of like a branded Contio smart log. The thing is that it doesn't settle. So when the logs settle down, the height of the room will change somewhat. So you need to then take that into account on basically everything. So all the kitchen cabinets, everything needs to be taken into account that the log will dry up and settle down. So the height of the room will change a little bit. So that in order to not get into any problems, you need to take that into account. But in Finland, actually, they have now made this kind of non-settling woods, which basically they use the laminated design, but the grain of the wood, as you can see here, is set on different pattern. So these portions which the grain are on top to bottom arrangement, these parts will actually make sure that the log doesn't settle. And then we have like very thin layer of uh, like uh, traditional laminated log uh, sheets here to make the log look like a normal log or normal laminated log. Then with those we have these uh, kind of like traditional laminated logs, which are still used fairly often. As there are some drawbacks, what I have heard from these ones. The profile of the log is usually done in such a way that they can actually add, as you can see here, they can add the insulation, and there will be naturally insulation also between the logs to make sure that it is as airtight as possible. So as these logs are done with the CNC machining, they are fairly accurate in measurement. So naturally the house will also be accurate in measurements, and it will be fairly airtight. Naturally, it will never be as airtight as a wood framed house with plastic in the walls. But uh, that is kind of like also a choice that one doesn't have uh, plastic in the walls, and it will probably act uh, perhaps a little bit more breathable design compared to the uh, modern wood frame house. Then we have kind of like low profile version. So there are a few different alternatives. The usual way how they actually what they are selling is this 205 millimeter thick log, and this is kind of like used in in houses which are livable for a whole year. This thicker one usually they naturally say that they would be happy to sell it, but the insulation value increase from this thinner one to the thicker one is not worth the case. So this would be just for the looks. If you want to have like massive logs in the walls, then you would have this one. Uh, then on the joints, we have few different options. So this is kind of like neo corner, which they use. I don't know. I had here somewhere a version of which will show it. So this joint in 45 degrees angle will have then the look of this side. So that is one. It will make very short corner and is used usually on kind of like modern designs, as well as these eagle corners. These are the differences in between these is that the lock used here, the on the right one, is a little bit more grooved deeper. So this is something that then modern, more traditional. Yeah, and with this you will have these panels to cover the ends of the log, so you have the modern feel. Usually in city areas, you are not allowed to go into this kind of like more traditional looks because they want to keep things modern and not to have kind of like uh, uh, timberjack village look in the housing in the city. But then again, uh, this is kind of like the one we are aiming for, to have kind of like a long, so-called long corner. Uh, this is the one you will probably usually see in the videos when people are making their own log houses from the scratch. So they will probably usually they will have this long long corner. Then again, okay, we have this log option, which I forgot about. This is the round one, but that is used perhaps on the cabins more, and not in the actual houses. So I haven't covered this too much. So one thing is that if you are working on these smart lock designs, and your house is having these smart locks, you cannot combine that with with this long corner. At least one supplier said that you cannot do it, because there is a reason. When the grain of the wood is arranged in top to bottom arrangement, compared to this like longitudinal grain pattern, the wood will suck moisture and wet water more easily from top to top into the log. So if you have long corners like this, the water might seep in through here, and it will actually destroy the heads of the logs uh, more easier, and you might have rot problem and problems there. So at least one supplier didn't recommend using this kind of smart block design. So if you want to have long corners, then you are better off combining it with a perhaps more traditional laminated log design. So that is perhaps the things I wanted to talk about on this video of the different logs, and I think we can then continue on the next time. So that was the latest video we had. If you have any comments or ideas or observations, be sure to leave a comment below. If you like this kind of content and like to learn more about our house project and perhaps learn something about building a log house, be sure to subscribe and click that famous bell icon.